Hello friends, we are going towards our second lecture of alkyl halides of SYBSc chemistry. Now we know that in previous lecture we have studied what is meant by alkyl halide, what is meant by its types. Now in this lecture we have to study the preparations of alkyl halide. We know that there are many ways to prepare alkyl halides. Out of this, there are two ways which are included in our syllabus. The first way, that is the first preparation of alkyl halide, is nothing but from alcohols. The first preparation is from alcohols. There are two ways to prepare alkyl halide from alcohols. That out of these two ways, the first way is from reaction with HX, that is halo acids. Reaction with HX, that is halo acid. In this reaction, alcohol is passed into halo acid to form alkyl halide as a product. Or we may say that alcohols are treated with concentrated halo acids to form alkyl halide as a product. In this case, the order of reactivity of alcohol is tertiary alcohol is more reactive than that of secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol is more reactive than that of primary alcohol. This is the order of reactivity of alcohol towards this reaction with HX. Okay, now we have to see the reactions of this reaction. When this primary alkyl halide, when this alcohol, that is ethyl alcohol, is treated with concentrated HCl in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2, which acts as a Lewis acid here, we will obtain ethyl chloride as a product. Now another example of this reaction, When this 2-propanol is treated with HBr, when this 2-propanol is treated with HBr, we obtain this 2-propyl bromide as a product. Now, second reaction from alcohol, that is it is the second reaction from alcohol, that is reaction with phosphorus halide. There are many halogenating agents are present. Out of that many halogenating agents, generally we use chlorinating agents such as phosphorus trichloride, that is PCl3, phosphorus pentachloride, that is PCl5, and thionyl chloride, that is SOCl2. These are the chlorinating agents. If we use or if we react these chlorinating agents with alcohols, it may replace the OH group by the halogen atom present in it. It means it will convert ROH to RCl. Now we have to take one by one an example of this PCl3, PCl5 and SOCl2. When ethyl alcohol is treated with PCl3, we will obtain CH3CH2Cl, that is ethyl chloride as a product with the formation of H3PO3. For that purpose, we have to check the stoichiometry of this reaction. Now, for that purpose, we have to take 3 molecules of ethyl alcohol, 1 molecule of PCl3, which gives CH3CH2Cl with the liberation of H3PO3. In this case, this molecule will also be formed in 3 moles. Okay, this is the reaction of phosphorus trichloride with alcohol. Now, our second reaction, that is when any alcohol is treated with PCl5. Here I use 2-propanol. If I treat this 2-propanol with phosphorus pentachloride, we know that it is also an chlorinating agent which can replace this OH group by the Cl atom present in it. Now, like this, here also the result will be same, that is here also alkyl halide will be prepared. Now, we know that this chlorinating agent will replace only this OH group by the halogen atom present in it. Now, this will be our product with the formation of POCl3 and SCl. These are the byproducts which will be formed in this reaction, that is when we react PCl5 with any alcohol. These will remain the byproducts. Now the third reaction, that is reaction of alcohol with thionyl chloride. When this thionyl chloride is treated with alcohol, we also obtain alkyl halide as a product. Now, when this N-propyl alcohol is treated with SOCl2, that is thionyl chloride. Now this thionyl chloride, as being the chlorinating agent, will replace this OH group by the Cl atom, and our product will be N-propyl chloride with the liberation of sulfur dioxide and HCl. Generally, this thionyl chloride is used for the chlorinating of this alcohol. This is the first reaction, that is from alcohols. Now the second reaction, that is second preparation of alkyl halide, is nothing but from alkenes. It is the most important reaction which will be used to prepare alkyl halide. In this reaction, when alkene is treated with halo acids or hydrogen halides, that is HX, we will obtain alkyl halide as a product. In this case, when we treat this simple alkene is treated with concentrated HX, we will obtain such products. Now, if depends upon the nature of that alkene, whether it is symmetrical alkene or unsymmetrical alkene, the mode of formation of product depends. If we use symmetrical alkene for the preparation of alkyl halide, if we use symmetrical alkene for the formation of alkyl halide, we may obtain a single product, whereas if we use unsymmetrical alkene, then we obtain a mixture of product. That out of that mixture of product, one will be major in nature and another will be in minor extent. For that purpose, we have to study what is meant by Markovnikov's rule. Firstly, we have to see reaction of hydrogen halides with symmetrical alkene. When any symmetrical alkene is treated with concentrated HS, we will obtain a single product. For example, ethene, which is the simplest alkene, in which both the carbon atom between which pi bond is present have symmetrical substituent, that is here hydrogen atoms. When it treated with HX, the hydrogen atom goes to one carbon atom and halogen atom goes to another carbon atom. That's why it is also called as addition reaction or addition of HX. When this halo acid is treated with what? This alkene, we will obtain this alkyl halide as a product. If we use, instead of this HX, if we treat this alkene with concentrated HCl, we will obtain ethyl chloride as a product. If this hydrogen atom goes to this carbon atom and Cl goes to this carbon atom, or vice versa, the result will be same. That the result of this product, the result of this reaction is nothing but the ethyl chloride. Now, if this HX, that is halo acid, if we treat with the unsymmetrical alkene, then what will be the product of reaction? We have to see now. Reaction of HX with unsymmetrical alkene. In this case, if we use unsymmetrical alkene, for example, if I use this unsymmetrical alkene to treat with concentrated HX, there will be the formation of two products. That in first product, the hydrogen atom goes to this carbon atom. In this case, hydrogen atom goes to what? Goes to the carbon atom to which alkyl group is attached. Or we may say that this halogen atom goes to the terminal carbon atom. Whereas in second product, this negatively charged halogen atom, partially negatively charged halogen atom goes to what? Goes to the carbon atom to which alkyl group is attached. We will obtain mixture of products. Out of these two, one will be definitely in major extent, whereas the another in minor extent. To understand which alkyl halide is major in extent or which alkyl halide is minor in extent, we have to study what is meant by Markovnikov rule. The yield of this product depends upon the Markovnikov rule. For that purpose, we have to see what is Markovnikov rule states. Markovnikov's rule. In this rule, or the rule states that in an unsymmetrical alkene, when we treat that in unsymmetrical alkene with the unsymmetrical reagent, then in that case the negative part of that unsymmetrical reagent, the negative part of that unsymmetrical reagent goes to that olefinic carbon atom, which contains less number of hydrogen atom, We may say that the negative part of that reagent goes to that olefinic carbon atom which will be more substituted. For example, instead of this we may use 1-propene as a unsymmetrical alkene. These two carbon atoms carries a olefinic bond. Now this carbon atom has one hydrogen and one CH3 as a substituent, whereas this carbon atom contains two hydrogen atom. That's why it becomes unsymmetrical in nature. Now when I treat this 1-propene with a concentrated hydrochloric acid, that is concentrated hydrochloric acid, that is concentrated HCl. Now we know that chlorine atom has higher electronegativity. That's why it becomes partially negative, whereas this hydrogen atom becomes or carries protonic character. As this chlorine carries partial negative, it means it is the negative part of that reagent. Now on the basis of Markovnikov's rule, which states that negative part of any reagent goes to that carbon atom of olefins which carries less number of hydrogen, that's why this negative part goes to this carbon atom, whereas positive part goes to this carbon. That's why this 2-propyl chloride, or this will be our product which will be obtained in major extent, whereas in second case this negative part goes to what? This carbon atom, that is which contains more hydrogen or which will be less substituted to form another product, that is N-propyl chloride. Now it will be formed in minor extent. Now what is meant by Markovnikov's rule? Markovnikov's rule state that negative part of any unsymmetrical reagent goes to what? Goes to or attaches to that carbon atom of olefinic bond, that is carbon-carbon double bond, which carries less hydrogen atom. Or we may say that which carries, it will attach to that carbon atom which carries more carbon atoms directly attached to it. This is all about our Markovnikov's rule. On the basis of another example of reaction of HX with unsymmetrical alkene. If we treat two-methyl butene with concentrated HI, we know that as having higher electronegativity, this iodine has a tendency to attract shared electron pair between the HI bond. These electron pairs will be attracted towards this iodine atom, and this iodine atom in HI becomes partially negative. Now, this negatively charged iodine atom tends to attack on the basis of Markovnikov's rule, which states that this negatively charged iodine atom, in this case, will tend to attack that carbon atom which carries less number of hydrogen. Here, in this alkene, this carbon atom is highly substituted, or we may say that this carbon atom has less number of hydrogen. That's why this negatively charged iodine goes to this carbon atom, and our major product will be this will be our major product. Along with this major product, there will be the formation of trace amount of another product, which is this will be our minor product. This is all about the reaction of HX with unsymmetrical alkene, which follows which rule? Which follows Markovnikov's rule. The last preparation of alkyl halide is also related to, or is also depends upon the alkenes. The third reaction is nothing but peroxide effect. Peroxide effect is nothing but what we have seen in our previous reaction. It totally depends upon that reaction in when unsymmetrical alkene is treated with HBr, but in presence of what? But in presence of peroxides. Like hydrogen peroxide. Now, the negative part of this reagent, that is Br, goes to that carbon of unsymmetrical alkene which carries more number of hydrogen atoms. Means it is the reverse of Markovnikov's rule. That's why this peroxide effect is also called as anti-Markovnikov's effect. Also called as Now, this peroxide effect is categorized as or is written as when any unsymmetrical alkene, for example, I treat this propene with concentrated HBr, that is hydrobromic acid, in presence of peroxide, this peroxide effect follows the free radical mechanism, and we will obtain here also a mixture of product. Out of that mixture, one obviously will be formed in major extent, whereas the second will obviously formed in minor extent. But as it being a reverse to Markovnikov's rule, or it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule, we will obtain this N-propyl bromide as a major product, whereas this will be obtained as a minor product. If instead of this peroxide, we only carried out a reaction between these two, the reverse will be our product. This will be obtained in minor and this will be obtained in major, because it follows which rule? It follows Markovnikov's rule. Whereas if we use or if we carried this reaction in presence of what? In presence of peroxide, these two will be our major and minor products. This is all about the preparations of alkyl halide. Thank you.